That's terrific. Please feel free to type questions in on the topics of what you would like to hear about today, and what focuses you would like to see this presentation have, and what subject matters you'd like to see covered. Okay, so let's dive in. So SOS is a company that has always been focused on the online backup industry. As a firm, we've been around for nearly 10 years, and when we first started, online backup was very much a brand new technology. It's now a very well-established technology and market, but that certainly wasn't the case when we first got started. It's a large and rapidly growing market. I presume everybody on the line here today has had some exposure to interest from their customers about online backup services. The two things really set SOS apart. First is our focus on our technology. So we pride ourselves on being the leader, or one of the leaders, of the online backup technology standards of the market. So a lot of features that are now standard across all solutions were first pioneered by SOS. We win many awards for our technologies. For example, we've been PC Magazine Editor's Choice online backup product for the last 5 years running, which is quite an achievement we're very proud of. The second reason we're so different, and the reason I think it's much more important to today's audience, is that we're a platform provider. So what that means is that we focus nearly exclusively on the channel and on our channel partners. So you, the people participating here today, more than 80% of our revenue comes from our channel and our partners. So our whole business and our technology stack is set up in a way that you can leverage our technology and use it to sell online backup under your brand. It's really quite a different approach to the market to anybody else in the space. We're a relatively large firm, as I said, been around nearly 10 years. More than 3 million customer accounts have been used on our system, 150 employees around the world, and growing rapidly. So we're both a stable company for you to be doing business with, but also secondly, that growth figure is more a comment on the success our partners are having. So we grow when our partners grow, and our partners are enjoying fantastic success in online backup. So I guess the question for everybody in the audience today is, why not get on board, and why not start enjoying some of that success for yourself? And if I don't answer that today, then I guess I haven't done my job. So please think about that, and please ask me questions along those lines. In terms of which industries, in which industry horizontals we focus on, we're very much small business focused. Having said that, we've got a consumer solution, and we've got tens of thousands of home users on our system, and many partners who just sell to home users. We've also got enterprise solutions, and we've got partners who just sell to enterprise. But the bulk of our technology and our business is focused on serving the small business market and serving partners and resellers who focus on that SMB market. And this slide really encapsulates what it is we do. We take everything that we are very good at, the storage, the software, the global infrastructure management. We then take all of the SOS branding off it and run it through your business and your business's branding, come up with different product SKUs based on online backup that makes sense for you. They may be discrete online backup only SKUs of product. They might also be bundles. So perhaps you sell laptops, and if you sell laptops, you may start to bundle your own online backup solution with every laptop you sell. We work with you to come up with those different product SKUs and determine the best fit for you. And at the end of the day, our goal and your goal is to drive incremental high-margin revenue for your company on a recurring revenue basis from selling backup as a managed service. And here on the screen, we've got a few examples of the type of white labeling that we do here at SOS. So when you think of white labeled software, people often just think of the software itself, but really everything you see in the SOS world can be rebranded. So this webinar, for example, can be delivered by our sales reps in your name under your brand. This is a 2-page brochure that's been rebranded to one of our partners. These are examples of PC software rebrands that can be done. So anything you see on the SOS website or in any of the SOS marketing materials or in this presentation, all of it can be rebranded to your name and your company. All right, so let's briefly look at the backup landscape. I don't want to dwell too much on this unless there's interest from the audience, but Generally, when you're looking at backup, you need to be aware that there are three different standards in place. So consumers generally don't back up. Small businesses do back up, but usually to tape or disk. Enterprises definitely back up with usually very sophisticated and very expensive systems. So depending upon who you're selling to, there's a different type of sale that you're going to be faced with. In the consumer space, you're selling into a void. In the small business space, it's about lower total cost of ownership. So and it's a technology replacement sale. You're displacing something else. And in the enterprise space, you would usually not be replacing something else. We would usually have online backup coming in and sitting alongside another solution, so a complementary backup solution. Whereas, of course, with online backup, what we're saying is we're taking your name, so just to pick on an audience member, Mike Zabel Online Backup, and all of the same elements are going to be there, the software, the hardware, the services and support, but it's all going to be wrapped up into one cloud solution delivered under your brand to your customers. And we're seeing a pretty dramatic shift in the market space. Tape has had absolute dominance in the backup space, but that's now changing. Tape backup sales are starting to drop quite precipitously. As you can see, there was a survey here done by the Santa Clara Group who focus on backup sales, and they've seen tape backup sales shrink from $2.3 billion to roughly $1.5 billion in just 2 years. So if this trend continues, tape is going to fast recede into being just a legacy technology. And so what's replacing it? Well, more and more it's the cloud. So CTO Edge Magazine did a survey of CIOs and CTOs across America and Europe, and more than 70% of those said that they were planning on shifting all or part of their backup load to the cloud. So we're seeing a pretty massive shift in the backup landscape away from legacy technologies and onto online backup. And so there's a quote that we pulled from one of our partners because we thought it was so pithy. If we don't sell our customers a cloud-based backup solution, someone else will. So why not us? And that is, I guess, another core concept of today's presentation. Your customers are going to be using online backup. There's not much doubt about that. 5 years from now, they'll all be using online backup. The question is, will they be using your online backup service, or will they be using Mozy or Carbonite or somebody else? So what we want to help you do is to capture all of those customers that you've got so that they're using your service. And just to give you a sense of the sorts of cost benefits to customers, this is a comparison from a real customer example of ours where at the tape backup solution being replaced, the online backup solution was a sixth of the cost for the customer. But then on the one in the first year of 5 years, less than half of the cost. But most importantly, the reseller in this question on the hardware solution, it's a $6,000 hardware solution, the reseller made about $500, whereas on the online backup solution, the reseller made $2,500. So online backup is cheaper for the customer, but much richer for you, the reseller. So it's a pretty wonderful supply model. And then, of course, traditional hardware-based backup, whether it's tape or disk, just has a lot of problems compared to online backup. With online backup, there isn't any IT staff required for deployment. It's simple software that can be deployed over the network. Coverage, traditional backup solutions don't cover